All right. Well, friends, thanks for joining us for worship. I think if you need to go, feel free to go. But I think we want to sing happy birthday to people who have November birthdays. And I know, Denise, it's your birthday tomorrow.
It is, and there's quite a few others.
Hila,
Eula's is
Amy.
tomorrow as well. She
Oh my
shares
gosh,
birthday with you.
this is
Wow.
her birthday. So Denise and Hila,
Hmm.
Catherine,
Happy to share.
Aaron Lee. Oh, Aaron Lee's birthday's on the 22nd. And Leslie's birthday's on the it's on the 14th. Oh, which is the baby Howard's due date. Very fun. All right. I don't
Oh,
want to forget anybody, but shall we sing?
yes.
Ready?
Right.
Happy birthday to you. It's okay, you can be crazy.
Uh,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Denise and Hila.
and Leslie and Emily.
Leslie and Amy,
And maybe baby Billy.
and maybe baby Howard. Happy
Happy
birthday to you. Woo!
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Denise, how old are you?
Yeah,
well,
I have no issue with that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 69 years old tomorrow. So I
oh,
am
wow. All
very,
right.
the quick answer is I am very old.
Wow,
So
69.
you're
You
awesome. 69?
And if my sister's watching, she hates when I do this because when I was a kid, my father would always say to me, and I loved it, you're 9, but you're in your 10th year. And I loved it as a kid because you always want to be the next year. But I grew to not love it so much as I got older. So I am going to be 69 tomorrow, but I will be in my 70th year. And
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, but that's a
Well,
crap load of years.
that's awesome. And you look amazing. And your spirit is so alive and young and vibrant.
I know.
Gosh, that's
You
amazing.
could, I mean, Denise,
I did not know that.
you could easily pass for like
If-
55.
Yeah, for
I would
sure.
take that. I would take that.
Wow.
No, Christine, I thought you were going to say you could easily pass for 68.
You could easily pass for 68. No problem.
Actually, it's funny. I've had that happen to me before, where like one time I was like with a group of like younger people, and so I made reference to like being. This is when I was like maybe in like I was 38 or so, and I mentioned that, and one of the guys was like, "You're 38? I thought for sure you were like 35." And I was like,
Okay.
"You mean not 25?" Like, it's like, yeah, no, but it's a different case with you, Denise. Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to know you share a birthday with Ela. She
I
turned,
know.
she has her 18th birthday and away from home. So it's an
That's
exciting
good.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember, tell her this if she's not, maybe she's watching. I remember my 18th birthday way back then. And all right, it's just sign of the times, right? For my 18th birthday, at the time I was living with my aunt and uncle, and my uncle was kind of strict, so he didn't really know what to do with me because I moved in with him a little bit after I lost my parents when I was very young. So anyway, he was kind of strict, and I was already, way beyond that. So, but for him to go along with this, for my 18th birthday, my best friend, Jean McDonald, who was my best friend since day one in high school, she came over. She drove her car because she had a car. I didn't have a car yet or a driver's license. She came over with a bottle of champagne to celebrate and brought it in the house. We opened it up. We all drank the bottle of champagne, including my strict uncle. And then her and I went out in the car,
Oh,
gallivanting. And it
wow.
was totally acceptable and very wrong.
Right.
Very wrong. Very wrong. Bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Are
another.
you still friends with her?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
I am. I am still friends with her. So that was how that night started out. But
yeah.
unfortunately, I am a member of the clergy now, and I cannot tell you how the night ended.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh,
Oh,
man.
right.
That's some juicy stuff
Okay.
here.
Well, we don't really know how it ended. We woke. Okay, here we go. We woke up asleep in her car, in the parking lot of the in Flushing Meadow, the World's Fair,
Oh yeah.
which was no longer the World's Fair, but it was Flushing Meadow Park, and we woke up in the parking lot.
Oh my.
That's all she wrote.
That's it. That's it. That was, that's how I grew up.
So how many people out there want to hear some more juicy stories from Denise's?
I think we need another few. I think
From Denise, I think she's the only one with the juicy stories today.
everyone can join in. Come on.
I know.
Let's hear
Yeah.
it.
Everybody's got this one
Not
juicy.
helping. No, they're not helping out. They're not helping.
It's like
helping out?
silence. It's like total silence.
Yeah.
Jen's raising her hand. Okay.
They're evaluating their friendship with me.
You share, right?
Oh no, actually they're saying
Oh, Christopher says yes,
that's
story time.
because of the delay, I thought Jen was volunteering to share a juicy story, as was Gregory.
Okay.
But then now I'm realizing that they actually just want to hear your juicy stories.
Yeah, that's what it is. They want to hear your stories.
Guys, that's it for today. I don't want to overburden the system.
Overburdened.
Well, I do recall actually seeing a younger photo of you, Denise, on Facebook, and you were wearing this sort of like short skirt, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the photo and I know the event. I was walking into an event. Yeah.
You have on a short little skirt with maybe a short trench coat. Is that the picture? Wow, I've seen that one.
I was very mod.
And your hair is very mod. Yes, the hair is definitely like flipped out and poofed and
That was actually taken in 1969.
Oh, wow.
It's probably the only picture of me where I look a little leggy because I'm not a leggy person.
You look leggy in that photo.
Something about that angle, and well, maybe it was the shortness of the skirt. I don't know. But, no, can we move on?
Bow.
For the whole world.
Denise, the people have spoken.
They want to hear the stories.
Yes, to juicy stories. Yeah.
Come on, you got one for us.
Julia, I could get you back for this, I mean, I think that was juicy enough. We talked about, the culture and the drinking and the
and her legs and
waking up in a car somewhere. It's all good times.
Put all that together and get a mental picture.
Well, and I'll tell you something. I'd rather not be this old, quite frankly, but I am. But I would never give up growing up in the '60s.
Oh yeah.
Because, and a little into the '70s, but it was such a great time, and I was never a hippie, but I wanted to be a hippie, and so did my friend Jean, and so we had the souls of hippies, but we needed to earn a living, and that was the establishment. The hippies were all against the establishment and working for the man every night and day, and all that. So we worked all week. We worked as secretaries, and we worked Monday to Friday, and then we kind of turned into hippies over the weekend. And then Monday, we'd go back.
Weekend hippies.
We'd go, we'd be down the village and watching poetry things and going like this.
Oh, that's so cool.
You don't applaud for poetry. You go like
right,
this.
Yeah.
And then we go back to work because we needed the paycheck. So we were maybe, one could argue we were, not 100% committed to the anti-establishment movement. But we did march we had a day of moratorium against the Vietnam War. That was a big thing in the whole country. And I remember that I didn't realize a whole lot of things. And when I went to work that morning, everybody at work was very into this activism and this movement. I just wanted to be a weekend hippie. I didn't know there were issues. So I walked in and everyone in my department who were much older than me, and I started working when I was 17, said, "Where's your armband?" And I said, "What do you mean?" So they slapped this because you had to wear this black armband to show that you were protesting the Vietnam War and this moratorium. And I still have my little button that says moratorium. I went home from work and my strict uncle, oh my God, he saw that armband on me. He almost ripped it off of me. He was so angry that I had this armband on that showed I was, they just put it on me. But we did go to a peace demonstration. peace march, which was, in the 60s was kind of, a big thing. And I remember marching in that and getting my little button that said moratorium, which I still have. And I felt very, I don't know, I felt very important or something,
Well,
or that I was discovering an issue.
It seems you found a way to balance it, right? You found your way to express your side, the political side of yourself that wanted to be a part of the movement and the man, but you also had a practical side, so you had balance.
Yeah. So it was good times.
Good times.
Well, Denise, in the live chat, people are still fixated on your juicy
Who are these people? Okay, I'm taking names.
It's all about you. It is just really all about you today. So
no, Jean's not going to spill any stories because she's in enough of the stories that she doesn't want to.
Now people want you to invite Jean to the View.
I see that. I'm telling him that she won't come because she doesn't want me spilling anything about her. So you see how that works?
Well, you guys should be like a duet together. Like she should just come on and
we should. Yeah, maybe someday.
Breeze.
All right, Lisha, how about let's talk about your juicy stories now.
Oh my God, I have no juicy stories. Let me tell you, I have one.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
About the Book of Common Prayer. I'm comparing, get this, the Book of Common Prayer from 1549 and the 1552 version. And it's try to get into
what is more wild than you?
I am radical. I know you can't hang. I know.
I know. I don't think I'm cool enough.
I know.
Not for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's as exciting as it gets for me. For days. I'm so sorry to disappoint.
Just these days, Lisha.
Give me a little time to finish this work, and I'll try to provide some juicy stories. Live enough to have some juicy stories.
I know, I get it. It's sort of just like once Lisha gets ordained, that's when all the juicy stories.
Oh God!
Yeah. It's not the time to reveal anything, actually.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Cool.
What about you, Christine? You got anything to share?
Yeah, Christine.
Or maybe a good meal that you had this week. You always have really interesting.
You're letting her off the hook, Lisha.
Well, okay, sorry. No.
I'll just say really quick, like, and I don't know if I've shared this here at St. Peter's or if it was just in All Angels, but like, so I'm like the youngest of 3 sisters, and my 2 older sisters were so bad. Like they were, I mean, this is all very public news. They'll talk about this, but like when they were teenagers, they were like really bad, and they, would like just be sneaking out in the middle of the night, and they'd be like, just doing all these things, and they would always get away with stuff. And so I was like a typical teenager trying to do bad things, but I would always get caught. like every single time I was like so bad at being bad. And I mean, now I feel like it's like God's grace, but have I told the story about how I stole a car? Did I tell you this? No.
Oh my God.
No, it wasn't. It's not, I think it sounds worse than it actually is. But I'll just tell you the story really quick. So like stories about being a poll worker. Okay, Ken, I will tell you the story about being a poll worker. But the story about stealing a car is, so it wasn't technically stealing, but it was my sister's car. So I was like 14 years old, and I was too young to get my learner's permit. And it was during like we would have game days at our high school, and my sister was a cheerleader. So I was like a freshman in high school. So she was a cheerleader, so she was off like cheering at the game, but we would always get out of class for these games. So this one time she was off cheering, and I basically went into her bag, and the games would go on for like several hours. So I took her keys, and me and my 14-year-old friends, we went joyriding out the door. And like, I don't even know how I knew how to drive a car. Like I just went and like just started driving this car. I mean, I think I had like an intuitive sense of how it was because I had played, those driving games. And so, but the thing that happened was, like the game was going to be over. So we saw the time, and I was coming back to return to school. And then what happened was, it was like a red stoplight, and there was a car in front of me, and I miscalculated the brake. And then I basically rear-ended this car in front of me. And so we all get out of the car. Thankfully, his car wasn't, it was like a little scratched, but it wasn't really that damaged. So he was just like, don't worry about it, it's fine. But it delayed me like considerably. And so then I get back to school, and like most people, it's like the cars have all gone. And I see my sister standing at the top of the hill. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, like a cheerleader never looked so scary. And she came, and she was just furious. And like we went home in silence. And then that night, my dad, he comes into our bedroom. We shared a bedroom, and he came into our bedroom, and he just said, "Hey, I noticed that the front grill of the car is damaged. Like, what happened?" And Eunice, my sister, did not say a word. And I was like, "Oh, and I totally lied. I just said like, I saw some kids, outside at our school. They were like kind of kicking things around, and they have just like kicked in the grill." And he didn't really ask any questions, and then he just left, and I got away with it.
Does he know the story? Or does he know the story now?
I don't know. I don't think that he knows. Dad, I hope you're not watching. Okay. Anyway, so that's the story. Yeah, that was what happened.
Juicy.
Anyways, all right. So, Michael made a joke about just wait until you get to the 1662 Book of Common Prayer.
Yes, thank you. So much to look forward to. Yeah, so much to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh, so being a poll worker. Yeah, I posted a little bit about it on social media, but it was such a good experience. Have any of you guys has anybody ever done the polls, like even out on YouTube? Anybody ever done the polls? It was really lovely. I mean, it was super stressful because they just throw all this information at you, and like people's votes are genuinely in your hands, and so there's like a lot of pressure. But there was like a real spirit of like solidarity in the room, and like people were just really encouraging. Like I love the whole like cheering for first-time voters. That was really fun. And what was interesting was like with people, so we're not supposed to look at people's like how people vote, but you kind of can't help it because like you're helping them put the ballot into the scanner. And so there were a couple people, it was interesting, like because New York is such a blue state, that people who were voting for Trump were very like vocal about it, at least at our polling station. And so it was almost like a statement, that they were making. And so they was like everybody would vote for Trump, would like announce it to the poll workers, and there was probably like maybe 4 or so that I encountered, and what was interesting is that they didn't vote for anybody else on the ballot. Like for the other like state assembly and the courts, they would be like, that's the only vote that I want to cast today. And so there was this one interesting woman who she came in and she looked like a character out of a movie. So like her hair was like totally coiffed. She was wearing this leopard print coat, and she was like she had this like really low cut dress on.
And you were in Harlem, right?
Yeah, I was in Harlem. And she just came walking in. She came walking up with her ballot, and she said, "I'm voting for Trump. He's the only one I'm voting for." And then she stuck her ballot in, and then she literally went like this. And then she walked out of the polling station, like very dramatic. She had like these really high heels on. And we're all just standing there like, what just happened? It was just a bunch of characters. And, but it was really like, I think just seeing that slice of America, like just seeing this like cross section of America. And I know for me, it definitely gave me like an appreciation for democracy and voting. And, I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, my family in North Korea will never have this experience. Like they will not know what it's like. And just to see each person coming up with their vote and being like, this is my voice, it was moving. So I encourage everybody to do it at some point. Yeah. So.
Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see
Anybody else in here? I'm trying to check and see.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Jen was saying she never worked the polls, but she's worked a few elections.
Okay.
The AP receiving precinct rewards. Yeah, it really. It is, and it gave me an appreciation too for just like local elections and just what's happening, like just being a little bit more aware of what's happening locally. Because I don't know, do you guys feel like you're kind of conscious or aware of?
I don't think I ever know enough about what's happening locally.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if it's that the officials are just not as visible
Yeah,
or in the
yeah,
news or as much part of what I deal with every day. I don't know. It just
yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't seem like
yeah.
I always feel lacking when I
Yeah.
need to vote for those things and need to look into it ahead of time. Like, why don't I
Like,
know all this
okay,
stuff?
now I have to really find out what's going on because
Yeah, yeah, you kind of to dig for that
yeah.
information. Hey, so Mitch and Brenna also work the polls, and Mitch just said he got to help Billie Jean King vote
Wow. How
today.
cool is that?
I know, that is really cool.
Wow. How old is she now?
Oh, I don't even
Yeah, I
know.
have no idea, but I'm curious.
Yeah,
Older than me.
yeah.
Wow. Well,
What? Older than- Um,
But I don't know if by much. She might be the most 10 years older than me. So maybe
mm,
maybe she's in her late 70s.
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I'm just guessing. She
Well,
has to.
what an honor, Mitch. That's
I
awesome.
know. I mean, and that was the other thing I think that was encouraging to see is like really elderly people who were like, I am gonna vote, and like, people coming in, like, walking in really slowly with their walkers and making sure that they cast their vote. And yeah, let's see. Meredith said, I got to speak on 1A this past week
She's
about how.
76, by the way.
Oh,
Billie Jean King is 76.
76. Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know she lived in New York either. Yeah.
Oh,
And
she lives in his neighborhood. Okay.
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Meredith was just saying she got to speak on 1A this past week about how we voted here in Michigan. I've never been called into a program before.
Mm.
That's cool. So when you say speak on 1A,
Yeah, what is
what does
that?
that mean? Like speak to like I'm curious who you speak to, or if you are speaking to like a local community. So
I'll wait and see if she
wish she
responds.
responds back. Yeah. So, anyways, we didn't have a surprise guest mainly because this week was just so crazy. I totally completely forgot to ask somebody, and I was just so emotionally exhausted. Yeah. I don't know how you guys are
Yeah,
feeling.
that the refreshing of the feed over and over. Yeah, that was I think what we were all doing, and all of us were staying up. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's time for rest now.
I
Yeah,
know, for real. Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful day outside
it is.
today, so we should enjoy it, right?
Oh, it's a public radio station, she says.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's really
Called
neat,
in.
Meredith. Yeah,
Nice.
that's really neat. That's very cool. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Let's
she's
see.
in Michigan, so that was there was a big talk, about that particular state, the decision of
Yeah.
turning them into a blue state, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm just saying that Melissa wants to know if there's anything I want to say about the convention. I have to confess that because the election got called in the middle of the convention, I was totally not paying any attention.
Yeah, that the announcement came through in the middle of the convention was just terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just completely not engaged at all.
You're hearing like cowbells and horns and singing in the streets. That's what alerted me to the decision. I heard people screaming in the street.
Right.
And that was while I'm plugged into the convention. Right?
Yeah, and actually, just for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, it was the Diocese of New York has its annual general convention where the clergy come together and we vote people to different positions and vote on different resolutions and pass the budget and all of that. So we were doing all of that online virtually yesterday. And poor Bishop Shin, his address, he started talking and suddenly the election was called and nobody was paying attention to what he was saying. Yeah, but I mean, was there anything of note? You guys were all there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind that the election was called it was kind of, most of us found out while we were on that long break. And then because I liked coming back to convention and having Bishop Dici start that off with prayers for the nation.
Yeah,
And he really, no surprise, he said he was very eloquent. And I loved that he said that, around approximately half of the people of the country are ecstatic right now, and approximately half of the people in the country are not.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really nice way to help us to remember that there's another side of this, and that we need to kind of be kind to everybody in these days. So I kind of didn't mind that. And I'm on Long Island, so I was jealous of all the dancing and carrying on and noise in Manhattan. I wish I was there. Of course, I'm on Long Island. It's kind of a little different scene politically. And so there was dead silence. I wouldn't even go out on my terrace and say Biden, because I wouldn't want to get in any kind of.
Yeah.
So I was jealous of Manhattan, but I for me, because I was alone and I was out here and not in the excitement, I kind of liked being with the convention people and having having that kind of community around it. So but new and noteworthy. There's the $1 million Lilly grant, right?
Right, Christine. And
that's
Michael, were instrumental in helping move that along.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a big resolution about deacons that we've been working on. And it's, as you may or may not know, deacons don't get paid for our parochial work, which is our work in the parish. And so there's a resolution. So we deacons don't get to participate in the church pension group, which has a lot of other benefits. So the resolution that was passed was that parishes should pay their deacons, are you ready for this, $25 a month. So increase your pledge so that I may be paid the $25 a month. And so that $25 a month will give deacons access into the pension plan and all these other benefits. So not necessarily a big pension account, it won't amount to much, but there's other things that we can access through that. And that passed. So that was good.
Yay.
And the other stuff was just kind of business, the budget and some,
Denise, are deacons never paid?
Not for our parochial work. So in other words, if I have a gig for another parish, running a retreat or going and preaching doing something, I can get a stipend for that.
Yeah.
If I do something, if I do a wedding, it's not really my parochial work. I could get the stipend, whatever they're going to pay for the wedding. If it's, so things like that. Yeah. But your parochial work, you don't. And of course, my job as director of Deacon Formation Program is an actual job with the diocese. So I do get paid for that, and I'm in the church pension group for that. But other deacons don't have those types of jobs. So we have a couple of deacons that have jobs in their parishes that are parish administrators or Sunday school in charge of that kind of stuff. And so it's very careful that we make sure that that everything is separated. That they don't get paid for any of the, so it's just a little fine point, but definitely it's not a paid for position. It's a truly vocational thing, and that's why, one of the many reasons why deacons have jobs, and we're deacons in the world, and we have other, most deacons, have full-time jobs, and then they deacon on the side.
Yeah.
Well, good news about the pension fund. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It is good news. It is good news. We're going to do a little kind of communication thing so that the deacons can understand exactly everything they can use this for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Just for those who don't know, this in the Lilly grant, this $1 million, it's going towards, it's part of the Lilly's Thriving Congregations program. And so Michael DeLashmitt and I and a few others helped Bishop Shin write this grant. And it's basically over the course of 3 years. And there'll be 15 congregations that we're going to select from across the diocese, because we have a pretty diverse diocese. It's like urban, it's rural, it's suburban, it's multilingual. And essentially, these 15 congregations will become part of what we're calling learning communities. And they're going to go through this process of essentially like discerning like what is the future that God's calling them into. And so it'll be centered around practices of discernment, and then spiritual practices that help support a culture of mission in the congregation, and then what we call like increasing adaptive capacity. So it's like the capacity of a congregation to really hold on to its essential identity while adapting it to a world that's constantly changing. So anyways, we're going to do that over the course of 3 years, which will be fun. So we're going to prepare this whole first year, and then it's going to launch in November, next November. So yeah, it's exciting. We're hoping we can kind of like just sort of cultivate more church revitalization and planting and renewal across the diocese. So this is kind of like the seed idea. So yeah. All right. Well, it's 11:30. Time for lunch.
Yeah.
And food. So good to see y'all.
Yeah. Happy Sunday, everyone.
I know, get some rest. It's been such a roller coaster. So go take a walk, sit outside.
Yeah, it's beautiful out, so
Gorgeous.
absolutely get that.
Yeah.
Enjoy
And,
the day.
yeah, and happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
happy
Denise, have a good one. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye,
All right.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.